motherfucker.
Oh, no.
Cameras aren't on. This is what happens when you do 15 things at once, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
I actually have so much shit going on currently that I almost didn't get my workout in this morning.
Your microphone's muted.
Is it?
We're muted. I don't hear you. I hear that.
Odd. Can you hear me now?
Hello? Oh, it just might be really low.
Yeah, microphones might be low.
Okay.
Either way. How is everybody doing?
Good morning, guys.
Is everything working for everyone now that I believe we have sound? I see the mixers catching us. We hear y'all fine. Dope. All right. Email reads. Look, I haven't even turned the lights on. I literally ran in here right at 10 o'clock trying to get all this done.
Yeah. And I was over here doodling around on TikTok. I'm not signed into my computer. What?
We are going to be doing live email reads today. Holy shit, 273 people currently in the chat.
Whew, I bet a lot of y'all came from TikTok. Thank you. Good morning, guys. I appreciate your patience as I'm dealing with technical difficulties. That is 100% operator error.
At least you know it. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Hello?
This morning is just a morning, isn't it?
It's been nonstop since I opened my fucking eyes.
Okay. Do you remember the password for this?
Nope. What are you trying to get into?
This.
Into the tablet?
Yeah.
We are so fucking not prepared.
It wasn't letting me backspace.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Use your iPad.
Okay,
I will go get it.
Thank you.
Because I'm ready to burn the fucking house down.
Yeah. Well, everybody, let's take a hit. I'm just gonna maybe block my face a little bit. There we go. We got my thumb. Not that I can see.
Oh, great, because this isn't working either.
All right, I'll use my phone.
Wait. You got 1%. You go find you a charger. Dude, I'm so fucking over this day.
I'm sorry. So we allow our son to have screen time. Like if he's home during the day and we're recording, he's allowed to play on his tablet while we're doing that. And he is really good at that one game where you collect coins and you jump over trains and shit. And he just lost and I heard him go, oh. Thank you.
Complete and lack total unprofessionalism. Just nonsense.
It happens, babe.
Yep. Shouldn't. It would not have happened had I not been focused on 9 other things this morning, and I would have sat down and focused on this, which is what I should have been doing because this is technically my job now. Frustrating.
Yeah, Subway Surfer. That's what it is. He's also beginning into, we have an old Nintendo game console, and he was able to play that last night, and they're getting into the old Mario games. And now he is constantly saying, Mamma Mia. You want me to go in there? No? Okay. You just want to get into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm extremely aggravated right now, and the last thing I want to do is try to bullshit and not be there.
Okay, so we are going to do having it on high priority. Do you want to do some, you asked for it? Or do you want to do like an actual
Let's do an actual email.
Prime podcast?
Let's do Prime Podcast.
Okay. Okay, so this one we did. So this email is titled, Is Starting Over Worth It?
Okay.
Hi, I hope this email finds you well. Let me start by saying I'm a new listener, but I've found that I share so many of the same views as you both. I was raised in a family that did not push traditional marriage as I know it to be today. It was more they both went to work and the house was poorly maintained and kids were tended to as needed. Everything was seen as a burden and either didn't get done or was done half-assed. Okay. So when I hear that, I hear there's neglect.
Right.
Yeah. Fast forward, I'm now a free-thinking adult with a son and a home of my own. My boyfriend and I met about 6 years ago and started dating a year after that. A year after they met?
So it said, so what's it sound like?
After 2 years together, my boyfriend bought a house closer to where he works and conveniently closer to my family as well. My name isn't on any of the paperwork because I insisted that since we were still pretty new and I wasn't spending my own money on this house, that it should stay his until we got married. He was okay with that and agreed. After living in our house with 2 roommates for about a year, we hit some really serious issues. Okay, I have to process all of that real quick.
Okay.
So he had his own place. After 2 years together, he bought a house to be closer to work. And coinkadinkly, it just happened to be closer to her too.
Okay.
She insisted that he kept the house in his name because he's buying it, he's living there, they're new. I wasn't spending my own money on this house, and that should stay his until we got married. After living in our house with 2 roommates for about a year, we hit some really serious issues. Okay, so I really wish we found a way to make it work for asking questions about things. Because if he's buying a house, why are there roommates?
Right. Right. Because maybe he can't afford the mortgage on his
Right.
own?
Is the mortgage too much? Was the house too much out of his price range? I could see how that could cause issues having 2 separate roommates living with a family.
Why?
No.
Yeah. I don't think you should have roommates.
Yeah.
If you've got a family with you, or kids even, the only reason there should be a roommate there is if somebody is like really fucking hard up and you're like, yo, you can come stay with me for a month while you get on your feet.
Right.
But only a month. Don't have no shit sitting here. Don't, you can move all your shit into a storage space. Just bring a bed, a TV. Like, you're not staying here more than a month. No need to move all that shit in just to move it all out.
Right.
That long-term roommate shit doesn't work for me. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I think that it overcomplicates life. Because now your bullshit's on my front door.
Can't walk around your house naked anymore. No more loud fucking. Like,
Right.
you gotta. It's gonna be weird about who's gonna watch what in the living room. Like, there's weird, dirty dishes in the sink all the time. People eating food out of your refrigerator. Like,
Someone
the
else's
roommate
clothes
thing
in the
is not
dryer.
a good thing.
Yeah.
It's impeding in your castle.
Okay. So they hit some really serious issues. I found myself straying emotionally, and it caused obvious tension. We got rid of the roommates and things got slightly better for a while, but with no resolve to the reason I felt emotionally disconnected. We just kept falling into the roommate phase ourselves. Okay, so in that, I would have loved if she included, I strayed emotionally because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You strayed emotionally, and that gives me no information besides you cheated.
Right.
Okay. A lot of people are too scared to give the why of why they cheated. There's no excuse to cheat. Everybody knows there's no excuse to cheat. People always have their why, though. And if you can tell me your why and I can understand you a little bit better psychologically, then I can actually give you some advice that helps.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. I can't believe I'm about to say this. I missed reading emails.
Yeah.
I feel like my brain's working again.
Got yourself a little bit of a break from the trauma dumping, and now you're ready to run with it.
Yeah, I think I got a lot out of my system too. I feel I said it in my vlog yesterday, but I feel like a older, wiser Gandalf. Like my wisdom beard has grown a little bit longer and a little bit more white. I have a new experience in me and I feel rejuvenated. We stayed at that phase for about 9 months before we hit another rocky patch and we ended up breaking up. Okay. So, you didn't hit another rocky patch. You were already in a rocky patch and you just hit a boulder. It's not like you guys came out of that and things were going great because you said you still felt emotionally disconnected and you were in a roommate phase. I stayed living in the house for a few weeks while I sorted out my end of the situation. He was all right with that. But I found out I was pregnant in between breaking up and moving out. We decided we wanted to keep the baby, and that for better or worse, we would stick it out the duration of the pregnancy and take parenthood strides. I was hit hard with sickness. Saying morning sickness might imply that it left me alone after breakfast. However, that was not the case.
Hey, did you see that the FDA approved a postpartum depression pill
I did see that, yeah.
that's supposed to remove postpartum depression in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And it's like, normal depression meds take 2 to 3 months to effectively work.
Right. Like hearing that made me a little uncomfortable.
Right. I wonder what that's going to do to women's hormones. I sent that article to AJ so that I can be discussed on Sunday nights, but
Okay.
that whole pregnancy thing made me think of that, and I wanted to know if you saw the ad.
Well, yeah, I did. Actually, I saw one article of a woman saying that it would only take a few days for it to start kicking in.
Right. But the pill is only 2 weeks. You take it for 2 weeks and it's done.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, what is it permanently doing to my brain?
I don't know.
You're right.
Because that's
affecting,
hormonal.
Yeah, how is it affecting my hormones? Another thought I had is how is that going to affect the breast milk?
Ooh, that's a good question too.
Yeah, how's that going to affect my child? Nothing works that quick in the body. The human body, anything takes 6 to 8 weeks to heal.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Psychologically, it takes so much longer to take things to heal. I mean, certain aspects. It took me 9 days to process something, but... All right. And I was feeling like garbage for most of the pregnancy. I get that. When I was pregnant with my daughter, they diagnosed me with food aversion. I was vomiting water. I lost about 40 pounds. My first, the first trimester and the second half of the second trimester, I lost 40 pounds. And from there, I just kind of maintained. I didn't gain any weight with my pregnancy. On top of this, we had multiple renovations in our home going at the same time, many of which I was told, in order to get done in time, I'd need to help. If we had home renovations to be done, okay. We've never had this conversation, but I know you as a man, so I'm just going to speak out the side of my neck. If I'm wrong, tell me that.
Okay.
If I were pregnant, and you being the man in our relationship, the man of the household, the provider, no way in fuck are you going to allow me to do renovations on a house pregnant.
Yeah, not a chance. Not a chance.
And if it can't be paid for, you're doing it by yourself or you're recruiting other men to do it with you.
Yeah. Yeah, get that degree in the YouTube university and figure out how to do it all myself.
That enlisting your pregnant woman... Well, they're technically, are they together? Did they say they got back together or they just agreed to make it work for the baby?
I don't remember.
Either way, this is somebody at one point you loved. This is now a woman who is pregnant. Insulation, all of that kind of shit, dust and all of that can affect things negatively. Makes me uncomfortable. Fine by me. I took the reins on the nursery and got everything in order. Paint, carpenting, the whole 9 yards.
So she did it all while pregnant.
Yes. She did the whole nursery while pregnant, yeah. I mean, good on her.
Like beginning pregnancy?
It doesn't say.
Okay, well that matters. That matters because if you're in the first like 2 months, you doing that shit's not really that big of a deal. If you're fucking 8 months pregnant, it's a very different conversation.
I would even say 6 months pregnant. At 6 months pregnant, like my body.
Pregnancies are different for everyone though. Like I know women who have not gotten very big until the 6th or 7th month mark and then just blew the fuck up like a balloon.
Right.
And I know women who just stayed relatively lean their entire pregnancy and you couldn't really tell they were pregnant, and others who looked like a fucking blimp the whole time.
Right.
That matters though, because the early stages aren't. So for somebody to say that, like, are you?
I mean, the early stages are kind of important.
Yeah,
the
but
first
you can still
trimester
do
is
shit.
when miscarriages happen the most. It's
Boring,
raining.
yeah.
I was always told never announce a pregnancy until you're in the 2nd trimester.
Right.
Because that first trimester is so key. If you miscarry and you announce it in the first trimester, then you have to go back and tell everybody. I did that.
Yeah.
I had to go back and tell everybody that I lost. The reason I said 6 months is because I don't want somebody who's listening 6 months pregnant and like laying in bed going, oh, then I guess I should be. I guess just kind of like a disclaimer or whatever.
Yeah.
I have seen super pregnant women lifting weight, like bench pressing and shit.
Yeah, I actually know.
That's insane to me.
In the CrossFit community, women working out is a very common thing. It's actually, there's doctors who recommend that.
Yeah.
Because it helps like overall body.
Oh, I'm not
everything
talking
going
working
on.
out. She's like doing like competition shit while pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not seen competition shit, but I've seen CrossFitters going until they were 7-8 months.
Right. I mean, nurses do that shit too.
Yeah.
I guess my whole concern is that there's airborne shit when you're carpeting, and I don't want that to affect the lungs or anything. And
Oh yeah, carpets are gross.
inhalation and
Carpets
whatnot.
are fucking gross. That's why we don't have any in our house. We have a rug, and when the rug gets dirty, instead of like deep cleaning the rug, we throw the fucking rug away and buy another rug.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh shit! I just want to thank everybody on TikTok who's still sending gifts and gizmos. I appreciate that. After our son was born, there was a major disconnect in the house. I was on the couch due to an emergency C-section, so our son was in the bassinet in the living room with me. My boyfriend never offered to help with night feedings, let me sleep in, or just help with the baby in general unless it was convenient for him. This is why you don't agree to make it work because there's a baby.
Right.
His mother came to stay for 2 weeks after just to help me around the house. No heavy lifting, and she ended up waiting on this man hand and foot most of the time. I'm glad they have a good relationship, but I was hoping that there would be more effort from him around the house, seeing as if his mother had not come to stay, it would have just been us. After all of this, we decided I would be a full-time stay-at-home, and we would make it work for us. I'd rather be a single mom. Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm trying to center myself.
Okay.
I'm so fucking overwhelmed right now.
Oh. Just a lot going on.
It's been nonstop since I got up this morning.
Okay.
What's up, dude? No, she's working right now.
Sorry, TikTok. I gotta take this call.
No, she's working. You can't go outside right now.
Ow. Fuck me. Ow. I hurt myself and now I can't leave the room. I don't have a phone call.
You should not lean on that desk like that.
Hello?
Oh, God. Professionalism, ladies and gentlemen. Professionalism. This has been a fucking day. How's everybody's day going? Let's look at some chats here. You can absolutely carry on as long as it is what you were doing prior to your pregnancy. Poor things needs to get out. Babies add stress. Better to do alone than do it with someone who's not helping and adding to your stress. Is that really the case though? When you guys have that stress, In the answer to Clary, babies add stress. Better to do it alone than to do it with someone who's not helping and adding to your stress. Does that mean that if you were in that situation, you would not go after him for child support? Because that's technically doing it alone. If you have child support coming in, you may physically be doing it alone, but you are still getting financial aid from the father. You are likely still in contact with the father, which means there's probably potential stress and a bunch of other drama that comes along with that shit. So how does that look to you? Crystal said, I have surgery tomorrow. Good luck with your surgery tomorrow. My new computer came in so that I can grab clips more effectively for you. Oh, Bethany, are you going to start actually clipping for us again? Because right now Heather's the only one doing it. Well, Joke is doing it too, but he's actually doing the physical clipping, but he's using Heather's clip notes to do the clips. I love that you got a new computer though. That's super dope. Rather do it alone than do it with someone abusive, neglectful, but I would never ask for child support if I'm the one who leaves. Okay. Respect that. Respect that. Helping your SO helps them clear their plate. Why wouldn't you want to put that person you love? That doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm just retarded and can't read today. I am technically actually diagnosed as that, but well, you guys are amazing. Thank you for that. Communication is what is lacking. Communication is always what's lacking. Helping with a newborn is about the newborn, not the partner. Why wouldn't you help the baby independent of your situation with the other parent? I agree with that 100%. 100%. How can I find your P.O. box? By me doing this.
Okay. Our son waited outside the door so he could open it for me before he went back to his room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little gentleman. I'm going to go give him a high five.
That just made me so happy. I'm so proud of him.
Positive affirmations. All right. And back to it.
All right, we're back to it. Oh, this is unplugged because I tripped on it. All right. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Today's going great.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Welcome to my world.
Having so much fun.
It's like that times 100 in me right now.
All right. Okay. Back into the email.
Okay.
I feel as though he is slacking in his duties as the head of the house, but still expects all the traditional jobs of the woman to get done. I am now with our son and dog full time while he trucks, mostly local stuff, so home every night. But the expectations of him have lessened while mine seem to have gotten bigger.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
What?
Our internet.
I would really love to hear back from that lady with the studio. Do you want to take a break? I can entertain the masses.
Okay. I'm good. I'm gonna smash something before this is over.
Okay, I'm just going to finish the email before I say anything. Our constant state of renovations are driving me crazy, but I ask him week after week if we can get a job done. For example, hanging a heavy mirror, and it has yet to happen. It's been 3 months. He didn't spend as much quality time with our now 1-year-old as I have hoped, especially now that he isn't just a pooping potato. Oh, the baby.
I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that.
They really are just pooping potatoes. And we spend absolutely no time together unless it's sleeping or in front of the TV.
What the fuck did you expect to happen? You guys had a baby to try to save your relationship? Like, do you not realize that you now have another human life that you have to take care of that takes all of your fucking time and effort?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, you guys broke up, had an pregnancy, decided to make it work for the child. He doesn't care.
Not even a little bit.
I would have left. Even finding out I was pregnant, I still would have left. I would rather do it on my own and be happy and struggle a little bit and show my child that it can be done on your own and don't make the mistakes that I made. And then hopefully one day somebody will come along and want to step into a role or...
Right. Which, I mean, if you're a decent person,
right.
I mean, that's bound to happen at some point.
I really don't have... Okay, I'm going to finish reading because she does ask a question. I have mentioned to him that we are lacking in our intimacy overall as a couple, and he seems to give less and less care anytime it's brought up. We are also extremely quick to talk about how co-parenting would seemingly be easier for us, since the result before the baby was we were not compatible as partners.
And you thought having a baby was just going to somehow make you magically compatible? Why are you looking at me like that?
Because it doesn't work. No, God, please, no. That has been my go-to for everything I'm seeing lately on TikTok. Is just that scene from The Office. I am going to recreate that scene. I am going to get the tie. I'm going to do the hair. I'm going to do the screaming. And I'm going to clip it. And I'm just going to react to TikToks like that.
Just save it on your phone.
Yes. I'm glad that you recognize now that you are still not compatible. Instead of having this child be forced to endure constant arguments, seeing his mom get treated like shit, seeing dad not do anything, maybe see mom be combative with dad.
Jenny, thank you for the super chat.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate that.
I think he's a great human, very kind and thoughtful, but he doesn't put emotional well-being high on the priority list. That is very important to me. The state of constant roommates is getting to me, and I'm wondering if we need a hard reset or just to call it.
You should have called it before it got this far.
Yeah. Yeah, when you were cheating, you should have called it.
Yeah. I wonder if people actually reread their emails before they send it to us. Like, type your email out, read it back, and go, am I the problem?
Yeah.
We sold an accountability t-shirt for that.
We did, and we're going to re-release it too.
We are going to be re-releasing it in September.
Variation.
Speaking of t-shirts, we got a bunch of them on our site still. We did the his and her shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have not done the post office run today. So if you guys order shirts while we're doing this live stream, I can package them because I'm going to the post office immediately afterwards.
And you get a handwritten thank you card.
Yep. Let's go to the next one. That's one of those emails that like she should have read that and been like, yeah, I'm the problem. This isn't gonna work.
Yeah. I should have moved my plants outside. It did not look like it was gonna rain when I sat down in here, though.
No.
Mm-hmm. And now they're just sitting on the porch, probably screaming because they're feet away from water. I'm such a bad.
Tori said, actually, my relationship took a turn for the worst when our kids were young. It was harder, but we found each other again. Well, I'm glad you found each other again, but that does come down to the parenting thing.
Right. If you guys... sorry, go ahead.
Nobody is going to be able to mentally prepare you for the fucking toll having a child has on you. They can tell you how hard it's going to be, but everybody has that, I got this, I'm invincible, it's not going to be a big deal. And then a year into the fucking child's life, you're falling apart trying to figure out how the fuck you got here while your relationship's failing and all the shit that is going on around you is on fire. You know, like it's pure chaos. Yeah. It's fucking hard to be a parent, especially when you're not financially stable.
Yep. I think that also boils down to if you guys were good before the child was brought into the situation, and then the added stress of a life is what made you fall apart a little bit, because that's a massive life change. Everything is altered. And then you come back, that's understandable. They knew that they were done before the child was even a thought.
Right.
They were like, okay, we're not compatible. Like, I'm moving out. I'm done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sarah R said you should reread A Different Day because your emotional state. Peach's emotional state's dope. Mine is not. I'm the one overwhelmed and freaking out right now, but I'm getting better because I have something solely to focus on versus 900 other things.
Yeah.
So
Next one.
next.
Needed advice.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm a new listener to the podcast and I love it. I love that you guys are blunt and honest about your opinions and you stand by them. Thank you all for creating this and keeping it up. Do you remember the first time we sat down and read an email?
I do, and I know that we sent a follow-up email to that chick, and I don't think we ever heard back.
I don't know. But it's crazy to think that it hasn't even been a year yet. We have 3 different setups. We're looking at a studio. We have merchandise.
Mm-hmm. Here's something to think about. We got our YouTube play button last month.
Yeah.
We signed up for Spreaker in April, which is the podcast company that hosts our podcast that does our helps get us ads and shit to go on there.
Yeah.
We are just shy of 1.3 million downloads since April.
What the fuck?
And July was the worst month that we've had so far.
Yeah, July was bad. I thought we were losing everything in July.
Yeah. Yeah, our fucking everything tanked.
I was like, okay, gonna have to cut my nails.
John said, "Take a breath. Life is live. We're here for your knowledge and your not your professionalism. Love you too." Hey, I appreciate that because I have there is a level of excellence that I hold myself to. Mm-hmm. I guess is the only way I can word that. So when I am not prepared for something and everything is going wrong, one after another, like I could have avoided all of that this morning had I set an alarm on my phone and at 9:45 stopped what I was doing, walked in here and got all this shit set up.
I get that.
I don't do that though. Yeah. I normally am like in here 15, 20 minutes early talking in the chat, but because of what was going on out there, I was trying to get that done last minute before coming in here and it's still not done. So I get to go back out there and deal with it more. I actually think that I'm just going to delete it all and not go that route.
Okay.
I still want to send that email, but I think I'm just going to send it and risk the spam shit. So, because I can't get everything to link up to the website the way that it's supposed to. Adrian Hart said, "I think July was rough for everyone." I think it was too because we have the tattoo studios were slow in July, which is not normally the thing, and now it's really fucking slow because school started. August is our slow season, anyways. But hey, got a shirt order.
I just recognized I was probably like off screen on TikTok because I'm leaning forward. All right. Back to the email. Anyways, I'm in need of some advice. I'm a 19-year-old female. I want to start to build myself to be a better woman and one day an amazing traditional wife.
Ooh.
My core values are service before self, integrity in all I do, when everyone is watching and when no one is watching, and excellence in all I do. While I feel like these values have gotten me far in my short amount of years, I still want to be better.
How many 19-year-olds do you know that have a set standard of core values?
None.
Right?
None.
So to hear that come from a 19-year-old, that's wild. Like, that's wild. Mm-hmm. That's on the questionnaire for the men's group.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your 6 core values? And then what are your 10 goals? That is on the questionnaire if they want to join the men's group that they have to answer because most people don't know their core values.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It is. I mean, it's crazy that a 19-year-old is like, here's my core values.
You think if people sat down on a date and went, what are your core values, dating would be different?
I don't think people would be able to answer that question.
Right, but if that was a set standard.
If it was a set standard, yeah. The problem with that is I think people would lie about that like they lie about everything else.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
I had too much hope in humanity for a second
there. If you were to sit down on a date and ask somebody, what are your core values right now? Most people would be like, what is that? I truly believe that most people wouldn't even know what you were talking about.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Makes me very uncomfortable. You know, I used to say that I was horrified for our children growing up and dating and finding relationships and building families.
Yeah.
And we just had a 19-year-old email in with their core values. And we have moms, dads watching us and taking things in and recognizing, hey, you know, my kids don't know these things and I am the one who has to teach them. So I'm getting a little bit more hope for their dating scene. Right now, though, in today's world, that terrifies me.
Yeah. I think our kids are going to be pretty well off in that aspect. I think there's going to be a lot of heartbreak, though, because I think the standards of who they are as a person is going to be shit on by the
vast majority.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
the degeneracy of it.
I am hoping to instill in them, like, fuck what others think.
Yeah.
I really don't want, because I know that they're going to be picked on. They're going to be intelligent. They're going to be well-spoken. They're going to be strong in their beliefs. They're not going to waver. They're not going to apologize because somebody demanded an apology. That's not going to happen. So they are going to be picked on for that.
You know what I just thought about?
What do you think?
And it's kind of changed the subject, but with what you just said, it triggered a thought. Like we're doing the burn the ship shirts. Mm-hmm. I think that we're going to do them on t-shirts and hoodies in September. We should do a hold fast shirt.
Okay.
We should keep that sailor theme, because I've always saying course correct, and like
right.
A lot of that is navigation based off of sailing. I think we should talk about that after the podcast.
Okay. Let's see. I feel like these values have got me far in my short amount of years. I still want to be better. I have started extreme accountability, and I've seen major changes in the way I go about life now. I have been told that I am very independent, but I feel like that is combative with a traditional lifestyle. Any advice on that?
Is that the end of the email?
No.
Okay.
There are 2 more paragraphs.
Do you want to answer that one and then move on? Because that's a very fucking like heavy conversation.
Okay. So I think there is a difference. When somebody, me, for example, I have been labeled very independent. If somebody doesn't know that I'm married or I have you in my life, yeah, I've had random women stop me, the way that I speak or whatever. Oh, you're so independent. Thanks, I guess. Women who stand for what they believe in are viewed as hard-headed or abrasive, something negative. I don't think that having extreme accountability makes you independent in a way that would make a traditional man not want you. Traditional men want a woman who is independent and self-sufficient.
Right. Well, you're right. I'm going to use my vernacular in this.
Okay.
We all know that when I always say that when I need to be that motherfucker, I can be that motherfucker, mm-hmm. right? There's no difference from what I have in me and what you have in you. The only difference is you allow me to lead our house. I don't want a weak-minded person. Mm-hmm. I don't want a sheep. I don't want somebody who can't fucking think for themselves. I don't want somebody that can't help me digest and work through business issues and personal relationship problems with family. Like, I need an equal that trusts me to lead, that I can trust their ability to stand by me and their opinion. Mm-hmm. If you were a weak-minded sheep and I had to do this on my own and all you were is a pretty face that cooked me meals, this doesn't fucking work.
Right. So
to be independent and be strong-minded and have that mental fortitude, that gumption to succeed mm-hmm. is a fucking asset.
Right.
And a traditional man will want that.
I think in knowing that, you also know if you're down, we're not dead.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the shirt say? I'll hold your sword when you're too fucking weak to carry it on your own. Like, that's what we have. That's what it is. Stop it. That's what it is. That's that. And if you didn't have that, we wouldn't have what we have. And if I didn't have the ability to lead the way that I have the ability to lead, you wouldn't follow me.
Right.
Because of your independence and the strength of who you are, you needed somebody that was more stubborn than you are.
Yeah, I really did.
I need a drink. Would you like something to drink?
Yes, please. You caught it so quick.
I know, because I started feeling it too.
Can you get one of my hankies too?
Yes.
Thank you. He got me good, guys. He got me fucking good. Oh my God, Jackie. Hi. I'm so glad you're here for this moment. I love you. Guys, Jackie's my best friend. One of my best friends. She's definitely up there. She's one of the most important people in my life, and I love her to death. I I can't believe I just happened to look over and see you popped into the chat. That's crazy.
Who's in the chat?
Jackie. Thank you. Oh,
I was about to walk away with that. All right.
This was a really good purchase. Thank you. The hankies.
I didn't purchase.
No, I know.
Okay.
Oh, that was a really good purchase. Okay, what were we doing?
Emails.
Okay. I would also like to share that I've recently met someone new. So far, he seems to hold traditional values. However, I want to find out where he stands on these values. How should I start that conversation, or should I wait until further into the courtship?
No, don't wait.
Right.
Well, what are the questions? Because if you're going to be like, are you going to take care of me for the rest of my life? That's not a date conversation. That's a pre-marriage conversation. So I guess in that aspect, we should have gotten a list of the questions that you're wanting to ask him. And like, that would have been a little more helpful, but, most of the...
Oh, she added her values. The values are here.
That she wants to ask him?
Not that she wants to ask, but she said, I value, and then she lists off the things she values.
Well, let's go.
She said, I am not the type to date around for shits and giggles, but I know that I am young. I value the idea of a man that will provide for me, whether it be financially a security. I believe I know what I want, but I also know I have to give to receive that kind of support.
So the stay-at-home wife conversation, I think, should happen.
Yeah.
But it needs to be had when we get married.
Yes.
Not if I move in, will you take care of me? Because that sounds like you want a handout, not you want a partnership.
I agree. It has to be if this turns into marriage.
Right.
This is what I am looking for in a marriage. This is what I expect of my husband. This is what I am expected to do. This is what I expect you to expect of me as a wife.
Right.
Those kinds of things.
Right. Well, and that's the expectations that we've laid out in the beginning that we've talked about since the beginning of the podcast. Here's another thought just to pair to that. If you guys are starting new relationships with people and you want that traditional value thing and your person works at a grocery store bagging groceries or works at McDonald's, you're not going to be a stay-at-home ever.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. If they're going to school to learn a trade and working at McDonald's, it's a different story. But if they've got a minimum wage job and they're just scraping by, don't expect a man to take care of you. He's barely taking care of himself at that point.
Right. I would go as far to say a man, say he was raised with his dad and his grandfather mechanics and he has that knowledge and he's trying to start a business and he's working at McDonald's. I would still support that.
Yeah, in that scenario, and he's a mechanic by like generational mechanic.
Yeah.
My friend Donnie, somebody that I used to work with, had a job in a telemarketing room who was a master mechanic.
Wow.
His dad was a mechanic. His grandfather was a mechanic. His great-grandfather was a mechanic. Dude knew everything that you could fucking know about cars. He now owns his own speed shop.
Yeah.
But at the time, he was doing telemarketing and fixing cars on the side.
Right. That's what I mean, like the side business, side hustle.
Right. But at the time, if you would have asked me if I would have ever thought Donnie was going to own any of that shit, I probably would have said no.
Wow.
I didn't think that he would ever do that because his family wasn't... Like, it was just side work for those guys. Like, they had other things going on, and it was a passion thing for them because they love cars. He got the bug, and it lit a fire under his ass to go from a worker to an employer, and, like, he's doing the thing. He's super fucking successful now. He's in Knoxville. Yeah. I'm super proud of the kid. I like, stalk his Facebook. We don't talk very much, but, like, it's cool seeing his Audis and shit because, you know, I'm an Audi guy. But, but that is a different scenario because in somebody who has that knowledge, if they... don't have the drive to own their own business, but they have the passion, a woman can change that. It wouldn't take much. If I had an interest in doing something, you were like, babe, I think you should maybe pursue that. I'd be like, oh yeah, you think that? And we would have a little bit of conversation, and you pushing me to that would make me go hard. Like, it's game on. Let's fucking run this shit. Like, and that's that balance that we need. You guys don't understand the amount of influence that you have over a man's life if he's truly in love with you. It's fucking wild.
I mean, we now have a podcast.
We have a lot.
We have over 1 million subscribers. I mean, 1 million followers on TikTok. We're almost 130,000 on YouTube.
Yeah, I think we're almost to 123.
Spreaker's doing the thing. We're selling merchandise.
consulting business is about to kick off. We have things going that we're meeting with somebody on Friday about. Like,
absolutely insane shit.
we may have 2 more podcast spinoffs coming. Like, there's a lot. We have a lot in the works right now. Be right back.
All right.
That sounded like somebody fell.
I don't hear crying though.
Me either.
So it might have just been a drop.
What are you smiling at?
I heard you go, what happened? But he's like, I dropped this.
Oh, yeah, he dropped one of the clamps.
Yeah, he's pretending they're birds.
Yeah. It's weird the things that he plays with.
I love it though. I'm here for it. He has imagination. That's fun.
Heather said so many trade family businesses are closing down because the younger generations don't want to work, even though it has and can continue to provide an amazing life. Yes and no. For those businesses that are closing down because their younger generation doesn't want to work, that's if it's the family business and like the people are not wanting to work in the family, that's a family problem. It's because the way that the parents raise the kids. I don't think that would be a thing for our kids. I got to be honest, by the time our kids are 18 to 21 years old, I want to have them ready to like run businesses.
Yeah. You'll be doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
Quick question. Is this sub-only chat? Subscription-only chat?
It is a subscription-only chat, yes. But they can subscribe and within 5 minutes they can chat.
Gotcha.
Why?
Because I saw somebody say that. I was like, was that supposed to be the thing? I didn't know. Didn't understand what was happening. So back to the email. I believe I know what I want, but I also know what I have to give to receive that kind of support. I would love to have a relationship like y'all have. I want to have this conversation, but I also know this can be a difficult topic to bring up. Is there an outline or proper way for this to be most beneficial? Once again, thank y'all for all you guys do. Also, sorry for the long email, but I hope you guys respond. I would greatly appreciate it if you do. I ask that you be as blunt and honest as humanly possible.
Do we, so when we read these on lives, when we send the emails back, do we tell them that it was read live so that they can go to the lives on the links on YouTube and try to find their video? Jenny, Zach, anyone? Bueller. Because we do need to tell them where it was, because we did get an email the other day of somebody who was like, hey, you read my shit. I can't find it. And I don't know where it was. And I looked and was like, your email was recorded and then that was all that was sent. Like, so we need to be able to tell them where to look. And this was the live email reads on Wednesday the 9th. So the other part of that is, did you get a cowboy hat and mustache?
It wasn't the cowboy hat and mustache, but it was like a purplish, like lavender purplish, maybe pink cowboy hat.
Oh, okay.
And I felt like Jeffree Star for a second.
Jeff Graham got the #1 gifter. He sent me a message. He was like, #1 gifter
Oh,
bitches.
he did?
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Holy shit. Thanks, Jeff.
So the layout for that comes down to a dinner date. And be prepared. Walk into that bitch with a journal or a notepad, a little even 5-star Mead notebook if that's what you need. But go, this is my list of what's expected of a wife in my opinion. And I'm willing to meet all of these expectations, but this is what I expect of a husband.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I want you to marry me. I'm not saying that we're at that point. I'm saying that in the event that this goes to that point,
This is what I want.
I want these expectations to be known now, because if you're not willing to do those things, I'm dating for longevity. If you don't want to get married one day and you just want to be a bachelor for your entire life, tell me now so that we're not wasting time and I can find somebody who wants the longevity that I'm searching for. And have those conversations. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. You being blunt and forward with people like that is going to get you results, because they're not going to be used to that kind of conversation.
Yeah. Yep. Because I now just cut through the bullshit and get to the point, people don't have time to lie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you mean my diversion didn't work? You're just asking me the same question again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said, been following you on TikTok and just created a YouTube channel so that I could subscribe to you and watch your lives. Love you guys.
I love that. Thank you.
That is dope. Thank you for that.
Move.
That's a promising situation. Like I feel like that chick's got a good head on her shoulders, and that she's I think she's probably going to be one of those people that are super successful in life in the things that she does, whether it's a stay-at-home wife or in a business career. To be 19 years old and to have core values set and understood and like have a plan on how you want to attack things in the future goes a long way. Most people are just, along for the ride versus steering the fucking ship.
You know what that tells me?
What?
That she has a sense of identity.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has self-worth. She knows what she wants in life, and she knows what she's expecting to receive in life.
Yeah.
I support the fuck out of that. I love that. You want to do one more?
Yeah, we can do another one.
They keep sitting in the pink cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. All right. Next one is splitting roles in a full-time job relationship.
Before you get into that, guys, if you are new here and you are not a part of our normal subscribers, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, all that fun shit that they tell you to do every time you watch a YouTube video, because it does drive the algorithm. It helps us grow. Also, share the content. The best way to support the channel is to show people. If you like what we are doing, stick it in everyone's face. Make everybody see it. Make them watch us. Super chats help. And we also have a Patreon community. We don't plug the Patreon nearly enough. Like, we used to plug that shit every single episode, and we don't plug it hardly at all anymore. And there's a super chat. Farm Girl caught alive. Have a great day, guys.
Oh, shit. I'm glad you caught alive.
Thank you, Hayden. So our Patreon community, we are to the point now where I am trying to do daily vlogs. You are trying to remember to vlog.
Yes.
Got another super chat real quick. Hello, Chris and Peaches. My partner and I are 23 and 21. I intend on getting married soon. We found value in having a traditional value gender role marriage. Thanks to you, we'll send an invite when the time comes. I love the wedding invites.
Me too.
Love that shit.
We're
going to have a whole fucking wall of wedding invites at some point.
Yep.
It's going to be gangster.
I want to do it in our studio.
Yeah.
That'd be super dope.
Yeah. So with the Patreon guys, I'm trying to vlog a lot because I have so much going on. It's easy for me to do like 5-minute clips while I'm driving, and like I just put it together and make like a 2 or 3 day video over 20 minutes. But we are still working on exclusive content. We do have a dope ass Discord community. The Discord community, I think, is the entire value of Patreon.
I agree.
And at $15 a month, it's less than 50 cents a day, or it's 50 cents a day, unless there's 31-day month and it's less than 50 cents a day. But that community is a great asset if you're looking to open a business, if you're homesteading, single parenting, co-parenting, blended parenting. Like, we've got a lot of people, and there's almost 1,000 people in there right now, and it's active. So
if you're somebody who wakes up and goes to work and then goes home and takes care of the kids, and you don't text anybody throughout the day, or you do text people and it's just 2 to 3 messages checking up on something, that bullshit. You don't have deep, meaningful conversations, go to the Discord. If you don't have a community around you, you don't have support around you, go to the Discord.
Oh, shit. Zensi said, told my therapist about you guys. She watched and didn't agree with the extreme stuff, so it looks like I will be getting a new therapist because this is more what works for me than the soft stuff.
Love that.
That is a fucking hell of a thing.
That is a really big statement.
Yep.
I am also somebody who can't be coddled. Like, if I'm coming to you for help and I can't problem solve something and you're just beating around the bush and trying to gently guide me down the route, no. If I'm fucking up, I need you to tell me I'm fucking up.
Right. I wonder how many people have left their therapist because of us, because we get emails a lot. And we get comments a lot where people are like, I've learned more from you guys in 3 months than 6 years of therapy. And like, my life has completely changed because of you two. And it's because the therapist that we spoke to said that it's because we are so like harsh with what we say. Right. And people that are not in the moment can relate to it and go, hey, my life is kind of like that. And they don't feel attacked.
Right.
Whereas when you're with a therapist and your therapist is trying to tell you you're the fucking problem, they have to sugarcoat it and be fucking, kitty gloves.
Right.
Because you're talking to them about their life. When people are able to compare and go, hey, that kind of relates to me. Light bulb. I'm a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Dakota did a Patreon shout out while he was there a second ago. I just saw him in the chat. Dakota, when we get our studio set up, I would love to fly you and Tasha to Florida to do an in-studio interview. Or if you guys are willing to drive, that would be dope too, because then you can bring your dog. But okay. Proceed, ma'am.
Hello, I've been watching y'all since your first TikTok videos. I also watch your podcast. I'm reaching out to see if y'all have any tips for what I'm struggling with right now. My fiance and I have been together for 3 years now, and he has been a firefighter since we first got together. He is a paid firefighter where we live, which means he works for a whole 24-hour shift, as well as whatever overtime he picks up. When we first got together, I worked full-time at a hospital doing work I've been doing for 7 years now. We both obviously let that be our own money, and we hustled for our money to pay our bills. Okay. 7 months ago, 3 years, 7 months ago, we moved into our first home together after getting engaged, and we moved to a different state, which ultimately made me take a pay cut. We talked about our roles, we talked about what bills each of us would cover, and we ultimately came to a 50-50 agreement. My fiance now works 3, 5, 10, 15, or even more days straight in a row to keep up with bills and to make the money I lost due to the pay cut.
Okay, so wait a minute. Does that mean you're not doing a 50-50 agreement because he's working overtime to pay your half of things?
Yeah, that's
what it sounds like, right?
He's definitely taken on more to pick up the slack. Yeah,
Okay.
That's not 50-50.
Dakota said he would love to do that.
Okay. I took on my role as the woman around the house, and I cook, clean, do laundry, take care of our dogs, etc., but I also work full time. I work 13-hour days, and on my off days, I do my roles. When we first moved, we agreed on me doing the cleaning, cooking, running errands, etc., and he would do the trash, taking care of the lawn, the upkeep of the vehicles, do any of the strenuous work, such as lifting anything heavy.
Yeah, blue jobs, pink jobs.
Right. Okay, so okay, her giving up her free days to maintain the household, she's also not getting a day off.
Right. But he's also working a ton of overtime trying to make up for her loss of income.
Right.
So they're both of them are out of balance right now.
Yeah.
They're both doing more than they need to be doing because the 50-50 agreement is not 50-50 anymore.
Right.
The reason I brought that up is because you don't get to complain about not having days off, because he probably doesn't either if he's working all that overtime to try to fucking make things work and then still trying to do the jobs at the house. This is the balance. This is what 80-20 looks like.
Yeah.
This is what 50-50 looks like sometimes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that shit's 90-10 because there's nothing left in the fucking tank.
Right.
That's life. That's working together as a teammate. If you watch the Jeff Graham and Angie interview, it's the same way. Mm-hmm. Your 50-50 mindset's never going to work in a relationship. If you want everything to be split 50-50 down the board, get a roommate that you can sleep with.
Yeah, friends with benefits.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, now that he's away, I keep up with everything, aside from the lawn that our neighbor helps me take care of. I found myself struggling to keep my mind focused on the fact that he's working hard to provide for our family, but everything has fallen on me, on top of working 13-hour days, multiple days a week. And he has gotten me to the point of feeling bad for asking him for help when he is home because he's only home for a day and wants to relax.
13-hour days means that you're not working all week long.
Right.
If you're doing 13-hour days, you're working, 3 days a week, 3 on, 3 off? That's normally how that works.
I don't know. When I was working for Coke and 7-Up, I was working 13, 14-hour days, 5 days a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that including your drive time and shit, or?
Yeah, that would be including drive time. So minus drive time, my drive time would probably be 2 hours a day.
Right.
An hour and a half, depending on the location.
Huh.
In her job instance, I don't know. So there's so much information missing here. Why did you guys move? Did you want to move and you were okay with the pay cut and this is what happened? Did you need to move to secure your lifestyle?
Right. Which didn't work.
Right. If you guys moved because you had this hair up your ass that you had to leave the state and this is your dream house, this is what has to be done for now because you got what you wanted.
Right.
Your man's killing himself working 3, 5, 10, 13-hour days, 13 days straight. I would like 1 day off if I'm working 10 days in a row.
Right. Well, that also depends. Like, he's a firefighter. There's a very strong possibility that there's days that he's just sitting around the firehouse for 5, 6, 7 hours at a time.
Yeah.
So, and during that downtime, you're not really working.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there are also times where you're a week at a time where it's not just nonstop chaos. Mm-hmm. That's a problem. The issue here, I don't know. It sucks that they're not financially comfortable with all of those hours. You would think that they would be okay. They need to start downsizing their life to be able to afford a life on their income.
Yeah. If we had to do a massive move and I'm taking a massive pay cut and it's between getting the house that we wanted or downgrading. That way you're not killing yourself and I'm not drowning. I would downsize their life.
Right.
Yeah. I would look into selling the house. I would look into downgrading. If I have to trade in my car to get a cheaper car, I would also do that. Do you have any thoughts? You want me to keep reading?
I'm going to pause you for a minute. I'm going to go and turn off my computer because
Okay.
I just got the notification again that YouTube's not working properly.
Okay, so let's take a hit, guys. TikTok. I am going to cover my mouth because people feel the need to report me for vaping. So just boop. You guys are watching the TikTok? I'm over here. I would probably do really well at those filters. I don't know if you can hear me. I'd probably do really well at those filters that just cover your face and you make expression with your eyes.
Right. Are you on the Wi-Fi right now? If so, you need to end the TikTok.
I think my vape just died. Well, I turned the Wi-Fi off and let's see if that ends it.
Okay. Well, as soon as you did that, the little yellow bar went away on YouTube. So
Oh, dope.
I think we were probably both connected to it, as well as the TV in your son's room, in our son's room.
I was about to say,
I'm
dude.
I'm pretty sure that his TV is connected to the tattooed white trash Wi-Fi, which is the good Wi-Fi.
Well, I just turned the Wi-Fi off on my tablet too.
Dope.
All right. I'm just going to keep reading.
Word.
I don't feel like we are equal anymore. And I'm truly getting burnt out with everything falling on me on top of working my full-time job. And I feel like I'm not being heard or what he wants to help me out as a man who is supposed to love me and make me feel secure.
Can you say that again? Read that again.
I don't feel like we are equal anymore. And I'm truly getting burnt out with everything falling on top of my working. Oh, fuck me. And I'm truly getting burnt out with everything falling on me on top of me working my full-time job. And I feel like I'm not being heard or that he wants to help me out as the man who is supposed to love me and make me feel secure.
Him loving you or making you feel insecure doesn't equate to your workload.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with splitting things 50-50.
Right.
So
Okay.
she's very emotional,
Right. Yeah.
in the throes of her emotion.
How do you think that conversation would go if he went, okay, I'm going to cut my hours back and I'm going to pay my 50% of everything and I'm going to take care of everything around the house?
But that means she would have to step up and pay her 50.
Right. Which means she's going to have to work the hours that he's working.
Or she'd have to get a different job.
Right. So how does that look?
It doesn't.
Because that's the answer. You guys are in a shitty position right now and you're both doing what needs to be done to fucking make ends meet and make it work.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to figure out how to make changes in terms of your workload or downsizing your life, none of this matters. So which is it? You wanted 50-50. He's working to pay your bills. You're still working but not making enough to make ends meet. So you have to suffer just like he's suffering by going to work.
Right.
Zach said, I can't wait to hang up my print. Love y'all. Your print is actually sitting right there currently. We're not going to hang up anything until we get the studio shit figured out.
I wonder how he feels.
I was actually thinking that. While you were reading it.
I bet he misses her. Misses being at home, sleeping in his bed.
Yeah. Unless she complains the entire time he's there.
Oh,
and then he
yeah.
probably doesn't want to come home, which could be why he's working so much.
True. Recently, I've been battling health issues where I can't do strenuous work, can't bend, lift, or move around too much. He tells me I shouldn't be doing anything to stress my body out, but in the same sentence complains that he has to pick up my slack. I would complain too. Because
Wait. She just said that she's doing everything in their lives
Yeah.
And he's not making her feel safe and secure because she's having to do all the extra work.
Right.
But then just said that he complains when he has to pick up her slack. So which is it? Are you doing everything and he's doing nothing, or he's actually helping you and still doing more than he should be doing because of the 50-50 agreement and is complaining because he has to pick up the slack? That doesn't make sense. That's a contradiction to what she just said.
It is a contradiction. Just that sentence in and of itself, saying that he tells me I shouldn't be doing anything to stress my body out, but in the same sentence complains he has to pick up my slack. Yeah, I would complain a little bit too. And it's not that I'm mad at you. It's not that I'm upset with you. Life is really fucking pushing my buttons right now. And on top of everything else, you have health issues and I have to take on more work.
Right.
Life is fucking hard right now and I'm frustrated.
Okay. Let me devil's advocate the shit out of this one.
Okay.
So say that was us and you're feeling that way. We don't vent to other people about our life.
Right.
We don't. We could, even if you were to just be like, hey, we had a rough night last night. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm fucking having a bad day because of last night. That's acceptable because you're not really getting into what happened. You're just saying that there was stress last night. Would you rather vent to me about the unhappiness that's going on in our marriage, or would you rather go to somebody else and have that negativity bias from somebody else giving an opinion about your life kick in because you can't talk to me because I get an attitude and I get defensive when you tell me about the things that's going on? Because in this scenario, he's venting to his partner about how unhappy he is and how about things are going, instead of going to his coworkers,
maybe another woman
and or his mother or whoever, and complaining about how fucking miserable he is in life. Because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're supposed to lean on each other. That looks like complaining sometimes. Sometimes that looks like unhappiness, but that honesty is how you work through problems. You just can't get defensive and be like, well, you. But
wait, you did this.
But wait, there's more.
We read an email where there was a woman who was having health issues and was affecting her libido. And her husband was super supportive of all of it. And he told her, it's frustrating for me too, though.
Right.
And she was so upset about that. I can't believe you said that to me. You're so unsupportive. That's not what it is. I would rather hear from you if I have a medical condition and we haven't had sex in 4 weeks, and you come to me and say, babe, I'm feeling sexually frustrated. I understand you're going through all of this. I'm not blaming you. I just need you to know where I'm standing. I would rather hear that versus finding out that you just went and slept with some other woman.
Right. Or told some other woman our problems.
Right.
Hey, speaking of low sex drive and like no libido and health issues, for you guys who don't know, Matrix Hormones is a sponsor of the podcast. And when you sign up with Matrix Hormones and use the code TOBEBETTER, there is a drop-down box as a referral. It will save you $200 on your initial consultation with them. They can help with PCOS, thyroid issues, testosterone issues, estrogen issues, and a whole slew of other fucking problems. Check out Matrix Hormones. That was a really good little segue, right?
That was good, yeah.
Go me. John Duerden said, just ordered all 3 shirts. Can't wait to wear them. I'm going to mail the motherfuckers out as soon as we are done with this podcast, bro. I'm going to send you some stickers too, and a koozie. I'm going to send you some koozies. They're bright fucking orange.
They are. They're very nice.
That way you'll never lose your drink in a crowd of people.
Someone on TikTok said these two aren't a couple.
Saying that we're not. Oh, oh yeah.
That's funny. Unless you're talking about the emailer, but I don't. That's crazy. Hey, babe. I love you.
Yeah?
I love being your wife.
Ooh.
I love being married to you.
Stop it. We're live right now, and I don't need people to see my nipples cut in glass.
Back into the email.
Somebody asks, is that U.S. or Canada too? They are within all 50 states. They do not do Canada because of telehealth reasons and shipping. They cannot ship to Canada, but everything is in the U.S. They can do all 50 states.
Yeah. So back into the email. This has never been an issue in our relationship, and I wouldn't have agreed to marry him if it was. I've always felt love, safety, and security in our relationship, but now I'm feeling overlooked, underappreciated, and unheard. I don't know how to talk about this problem without making it look like I don't appreciate that he works hard to keep us afloat, but I'm just tired.
Well, I wonder what makes her feel unheard. Because it's a very specific statement.
When I feel unheard in a conversation we're having, it is because there hasn't been an emotional connection. You're a very logic brain thinker.
I have to be because of my borderline.
Right. So if I come to you with an emotional mindset on things, I'm looking for a emotional understanding. Unless I specifically say, babe, I need you to be emotional with me on this, you're not going to know
Right.
that I need that kind of connection and understanding. So without specifically saying, babe, I need you to sit on the couch with me and hold me while I cry, and I need you to soothe my hair and tell me that you love me, I need that emotional connection right now, you're not going to do it. And if I don't have that, I might feel unheard.
Right.
I love you.
You can snot on my shirt. It's okay.
And I did. I took that full permission and ran with it.
Yeah, and I wore that shirt all day with 0 fucks.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So it's never been an issue up until now, and there's been massive life changes. You guys are not together as much as you were before. There's added stress on both ends of things. Life is totally different. And my best advice is take a step back and actually listen to how hard this is for him too.
Right.
Struggle together, not against each other.
Right. You're supposed to be a team.
Yeah.
Carly said, crap, that sucks. Me and my hubby want the shirts and hoodie you're coming out with. If you're talking about shipping, we actually ship to Canada. I thought whoever asked that question was about the hormone thing. With that whole keeping score thing, because that's what they're doing. They're keeping score in their marriage. Well, I do this. Well, I do this. Well, I do this. Well, I do this. Like, that's not helping you.
Right.
You are playing against each other, being on the same team. That's not going to ever, you're not going to win. Mm-hmm. The team's going to lose. You guys are going to end up being divorced because of it.
Yeah. Before you keep going, I just saw somebody said, I'm just here for Peaches to yell at us to go to YouTube. Guys, go to YouTube.
Yeah.
If you're not following the YouTube channel, you should go do that. We have a lot of fun there, and we do a lot of random pop-up lives. All right.
Is that the end of that email?
Yeah, that was the end of it.
We've had requests for another email. Do you guys want us to do another email? While we wait on answers of that, Zach said, nah, dog, your picture. Oh, did I get a picture? Do I have a picture? Do I have a picture
Does
coming?
he have a picture of us?
There's
Of you?
One of
your pictures?
There is something currently at the post office that I have to pick up when I make the t-shirt drop.
Huh.
Enchanted Illusions Photo and Film said, wait, I have a question. My boyfriend has BPD and in research and reading, whereas he's logical at the same time. They say people with BPD aren't actual logical, more so emotionally logical. Where BPD has issues is when people stay in their emotional mind state. She's coming, bud. Yes, another. They really want another email. All right. Checking on the kid. So for people who have borderline personality disorder, I highly recommend that you watch or you read Buddha and the Borderline. Excuse me. And check out Stop Walking on Eggshells if your partner has borderline. And then both of you should read I Love You, I Hate You, Don't Leave Me. If you have borderline, being in your emotional mindset is going to create a whole lot of fucking problems for you. And when you learn to switch from emotional to logic brain thinking, and you can turn that on and off on a whim, your borderline gets a lot easier. Also, borderline gets a lot easier as you get older. Emma Elise, just sending a little love because I haven't recently. Thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate that. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's good. He was frustrated because the new rug in their room prevents that drawer from pulling out from under his bed. He's trying to get his dinosaur.
They really want an encore. People would like us to keep going. I think that if we're going to read another email, though, you should end the TikTok, send everyone over to YouTube, and let's cut that off.
All right, so I was just told to end this. So if you guys want to continue watching, enjoying, interacting, go over to our YouTube channel, the number 2 Be Better on YouTube. The links are in my bio on TikTok. Again, that's the number 2 Be Better on YouTube. Thank you guys for joining over here, and I can't wait to see you over there. And smile, and we're done. I opened that door and he was deep breathing.
Yeah. Regulating.
I'm proud of him.
Sabrina, just here to say, hey, work freaking sucks right now, but this helps get me through my day easier. Love that. Do you answer emails without reading them out loud? And what's the email address? We don't. We don't answer emails without reading them out loud because we do them for free. So we do them when we get to them, unless you're paying for it. And even then it's content. So, and I think that we should probably look back into doing the expedited email things once the studio is set up and like dedicate a day to going in there and doing that shit, because we've gotten emails asking about the expedited thing since we stopped doing it.
Really?
Yep. So.
Okay. Would you be willing to do that at an earlier time? Because ending my day with that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I would. I would be willing to do it I don't really give a shit. With the kids going back to school, we'll have free times again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. But I don't, or Thursday, even Friday during the daytime. I don't know. I want to keep our evenings for fun shit. Like I'm really enjoying I think that, excuse me, I really enjoy the Sunday night thing that we did with AJ. And I talked to Jacob yesterday. And he is 100% on board to being here every Sunday night.
Okay. I like Jacob.
So,
he has a good personality.
Yep. Is there a P.O. box for fan mail? There sure is. Somebody just hit you with the mail chat.
And come on. That's kind of intense. All right. So we'll do this one.
Okay. Is it intense like camping?
No, but wouldn't that be crazy if it was? I would lose my mind if somebody started their email with, let me set the scene.
Yeah.
We're intense camping. Well, I have no internet connection, so it's waiting to load.
Didn't you turn it off?
I did, and it says no connection, so now we're trying again. All right, so this one is called Patreon Marital Affair. To work it out or not.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, To Be Better team. I just finished episode 6, Cheating. I wanted to share my situation if you have the time. I'll be as specific yet concise as possible.
That's a good word.
It is. And there's a lot of key details to the situation I think you want to know. My ex-husband and I began dating in August of 2018, and were married in May of 2019.
So less than a year?
Less than a year. That was
Okay.
quick. Hang on, let me get my glasses on because that's already...
So you're still in the honeymoon phase when you had your honeymoon. You didn't get past the obsession phase yet, which means you're probably fucking way before you got married, which means you still had that rose-colored glasses going on, so you weren't able to see red flags the way that you should have normally seen them past the 2-year obsession phase. We've talked about a lot of... I think he's roaring dinosaurs in there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
He's definitely in there talking to himself.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm actually going to take a quick pee break. And
Okay.
give him some more toys.
Oh.
Because I have a whole bunch of those clamps. I have a whole bag of them.
Dope. All right. All right. Well, my vape's dead, so we can't take a hit. Have a good day, Sabrina. How old is the little? I'm not comfortable telling you guys as my kids' ages. I know I should go grab the vape charger, but then there's nobody on camera, and I feel like that's not conductive. Will you guys ever do a meet and greet? That is planned. It is certainly planned to do a meet and greet. We're not sure when, but it is the goal. Carly, thank you for taking the hit for me. I appreciate that. What a homie. I love listening to him play. Oh, chat's moving quick. Have you guys considered writing a book or guided journal? No. I mean, maybe a guided journal. I would do really good at a guided journal. I'm talking myself into it. That's a really good idea. I might write a guided journal. Do I have the time to write a guided journal? Do I have the motivation? Yes, it's there. That's there. Am I willing to commit myself to writing a guided journal? Yes. Yes, I am willing to commit myself to doing that. Yeah, I think I will do that. That's a good idea.
I gave him one of the really big clamps.
Yeah.
And he's like, can't move it. All right.
You've mentioned your kids' ages before several times. Weird. Yes, I have. And I do that when I do that. I don't feel comfortable answering questions about my children.
Okay, let's jump back to the email.
All
If
right.
you don't mind. I love that we're getting new members. That's super fucking dope.
That is super dope. Oh, we had a couple of
Super chats?
super chats. Yeah, if you want to read that.
Were they actual super chats or they just
There was
the
at
members?
least one. There
Oh
was.
yeah, there was. I've sent an expedited thank you email. You could end today's live with it for some love and support.
Maybe. I have somewhere I need to be at 1:30. So depending on how long this takes us.
All right. Well, I wrote the name down so we can
Okay.
search for it.
Dope.
You guys who join the members, when we do our Patreon live streams on Tuesday nights, sometimes we share that with YouTube as well. So when you guys do the member subscriptions, do make sure that you do it for the live streams because we do share those.
We do.
Okay.
All right. So they were together for less than a year, going through all of that. We were in a religion that highly encouraged a fast engagement period. And later both regretted getting married so quickly for many of the reasons explained below.
Okay.
The religion was Mormonism, but it may be irrelevant to you.
It is irrelevant.
I left the religion about a year before the split, and he left after our split. I'm now 27 and my ex is 29, and we were 23 and 24 when we got married. Okay. So they were together for 3 years. Right? Was that a different email?
I think that was a different email.
Okay, never mind. Incorrect information. We developed a very poor foundation of terrible conflict management and communication patterns by rushing into marriage. We did not know how to break that cycle. I was very avoidant and conflict averse from previous trauma, and I built resentment early on in our relationship. I had a negative pattern of communication on both sides. I would avoid conflict and boundary setting, get my feelings hurt easily, and lack the maturity to view things from his perspective, and take accountability. I wanted things done my way, and so did he. On his end, he was dismissive of my attempts at communicating and setting boundaries and expectations. And he's playing.
Yeah. Okay. So real quick before you continue, because I want to address something. I saw the person who asked about the mom thing or the kid thing said
Yeah.
was not trying to be creepy, just a mom relating. Just stop. I apologize for asking and completely understand. I don't know if there was anything else going on beyond that. I
Yeah.
know that people want to relate to us, so I totally respect that. There's no harm, no foul there.
Right.
I don't know if there was shit going on in the chat that made her feel any kind of way, but guys, let's not attack people. We don't do that.
Yeah, there was no need for an apology on that.
Okay, that's all. Oh, we got a super chat. Chris Choate said, I think if y'all do the expedited emails again, maybe you could have your screeners look at the email screen just to make sure it's good. They were doing that. We were feeling obligated because people were paying us
Yeah.
for it, and we're not. If we do the expedited emails, it's going to be different again.
Right.
Also, Chris, I got your shirt order. It went out yesterday.
Yeah. I want to touch on that one more time before we move on. The don't bullshit people.
Yeah.
When I address something, I address something.
Right.
Mind your business.
You're so hostile.
It's not hostile.
Yeah. It sounds
That's
hostile, though.
unnecessary.
I know. It
I say
sounds
the same
hostile,
thing
though.
to the kids. If I'm disciplining a child and we're having a conversation, mind your business. This isn't about you. You don't have to instigate. You don't have to add in your opinion on this. I said what needed to be said. It's handled. I am not upset and I'm not mad. You guys shouldn't be either. Little forehead kisses. All right.
It's pretty cool to see some of the names in the chat, like when they've actually got their names, and I'm like, hey, I recognize that you put in a shirt order.
Yeah, I do that too.
Guys, also, real quick before she picks back up, because we're all over the place, I am putting together a members list on our website. There's currently over 500 people that are on that list from people that have placed shirt orders. But if you would like to sign up on our website to get like email information, that would be super dope. I'm not going to spam you guys every month. It's just going to be like random shit as it comes up. I think that it might be beneficial for you guys to do that in the future. tobebetter.co, not .com, .co.
.co.
Yep. All right.
We should really buy that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I just don't want to spend the money. They want almost $4,000 for that website.
$4,000?
Yeah, it's like $3,800 or
I thought
something.
it was $1,000.
No, it was over 3. I want to say it was high 3s, but I'll have to look. Anyways.
That's insane.
All
right. I wanted things done my way, and so did he. On his end, he was dismissive of my attempts at communicating and setting boundaries. And I felt like he would turn my attempts back on me to flip every issue into being my fault, also lacking the maturity to take accountability. This built a cycle that turned to resentment where I would constantly nag, which led to him being indifferent towards my needs, which then fueled more resentment that both of our needs were not being met. We both grew up in toxic, neglectful, and abusive households with horrible examples of marriage and romantic relationships. And you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Excuse me. The timeline of the affair and breakdown is below. One part of my brain and my friends says he showed his cards and who he is. You did the right thing by leaving. However, since listening to the podcast for the past several weeks and continuing to process, I can't ignore that research shows that my resentment and avoidance played a key role in the affair.
Accountability. So pause.
Yeah.
My brain and my friend. Part of my brain and my friend.
And my friends.
So she went to everyone else about her problems instead of to her person.
Right. Yeah.
That's the negativity bias that we talked about in the last email.
Yep. I know my abandonment triggered him. I have always known he had abandonment trauma from childhood, and I moved out immediately after learning about the affair. Even before the affair, I frequently brought up the topic of getting a divorce, which made him feel unwanted. And I also felt unwanted by him, never being physical with me. Again, I know resentment affected this too.
So she's divorced and now listening to our podcast and hearing all the shit that we talk about and realizing all the things that she did wrong.
Yeah.
This is where the self-improvement comes from between relationships, because you're getting a whole lot of fuck. What did I do?
Right.
You had divorce on the table. You mentioned it.
Multiple times.
And then you realize he fucking started withdrawing.
Yeah.
This is why you don't do that.
Yeah. I was praised by my friends for being strong for leaving after he cheated. But deep down, I have regretted it for the last year and felt like it was a cop-out for actually digging in and fixing my marriage. I don't believe resentment and avoidance are any excuse for a man to act like this towards his wife, but I do know that without my actions, I'm sure the affair would have never occurred.
It's a lot to process. That's a lot to process. She knew he cheated, regrets leaving, because she's realizing this is the accountability thing.
Yeah.
He cheated on me. That's all that matters. No, what matters is everything that led up to the point of him cheating.
He didn't feel love. He didn't feel wanted.
Right. What happened?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is one of those things where damage is done on both ends. So you could commit to forgiving. He doesn't have to.
Right.
You decided to leave. You left. And at this point, after a year, he could realize, okay, maybe she wasn't the one for me, and I learned a massive fucking lesson. I'm not going to tolerate a woman treating me like that.
Right. I think that both of them are going to have a lot to learn through all of this.
Yeah. There's a lot to process in this. He shouldn't have cheated.
No, I agree.
That should have definitely been a conversation of, look, you were really pushing me away, and I'm starting to recognize I'm checking out other women.
Right.
And I do not want to go down that road. I want to fix this with you. You know, I saw a TikTok the other day. A man vowed to his wife that he's not even going to gawk at other women.
Yeah, I saw that.
And check them out.
Yeah, he's going to train his brain
I stand by
to
that.
not do that.
I don't look at other men.
He actually specifically said that the phrase is you can look on the menu but not order the meal. And when you do that, you are opening the door.
You have options
to do more than what you're doing, because even if you're on a diet and you're looking at the menu, you could potentially order. He was like, you don't look at the menu if you're not hungry. And I was like, damn, that's a good fucking point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you stand behind that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to be the guy that would say shit like that.
Yeah, you told me that when we started dating.
Yeah, because
we were having a conversation. You got pretty aggressive. Not aggressive, but you got defensive.
Because I believe that everybody's going to look. I do believe that there are personality traits that people will see and go, I like that personality trait. They won't word it that way, but they have that. We were watching something. And I was like, that dude's got the perfect jawline. And we had a conversation about how attractive his face was because of where his facial features were. Doesn't make me gay. There's just good facial features there. And I called it on that. So on that level, everyone does that shit.
Right.
The difference is when you're like going from, I like her facial features to damn.
If I weren't in a relationship.
Right. That's where that changes. So my perspective on that whole argument has changed, but I also don't look at the menu. Because I have everything that I need. In the event that like I need some extra attention, I'm like, babe, attention. And you're like, yes, daddy. And we do the thing. And I don't have need for attention anymore after that because you sucked the fucking soul out of me. And I'm good. Just got to tell your partner what you want.
Right. I don't believe resentment and avoidance are any excuse for a man to act the way. I already read that. As you'll see below, he has clearly shown his capacity to lie to my face. And that is something I can't forget. I want to work towards forgiveness, but I'm worried I will hold a grudge and always know in the back of my mind how easy it is for him to lie to me, which is where my internal conflict lies. He lied and he hurt me, but I also hurt him.
So you expect him to forgive you, but you're not sure if you can forgive him. So what I don't understand what the issue is here. Are they trying to actually work things out?
I think she's trying to figure out if she wants to work things out. Trust is a hard thing for me. You know, I've devoted myself to you. Divorce is not an option. If our trust were to be shattered, there's no way it's going to go back to normal in 6 months.
Right. Well, it'll never go back to normal anyways.
Right.
It'll evolve and become something else, but it can.
Right.
It can.
But that is a very long process. It is a very painful process. And that is a process that you really have to decide, am I going to dedicate myself to this?
Right.
Because you're going to go through emotional turmoil. You're going to hate him every once in a while. You're going to say, why did you fucking do this to me? Why did you do this to us? And he's going to have to ride that with you and be like, I'm sorry. I'm committed to us now. You recommitted to us. This is just one of those things that we have to get through again and come out strong on the other side. If you can't commit yourself to that and not hating him, even though in those moments where your brain's like, fuck that guy, don't put him through that.
Yeah, I also think at this point, because they got divorced and separated, if she does go back, she doesn't get that option to throw that shit in his face. If they try to make things work, she needs to get that completely out of her system before she tries to make that work, because it's done.
Right.
The divorce has happened. It's done. That shit happened. You guys both moved on with your life. If you decide to go back together and try to make that work, you don't get to bring that up anymore. You need to trust that he's going to be a different person and try to make things work and not be that guy. And if you can't trust that, don't go back.
Right.
It's as simple as that. If you guys try to rekindle a flame and try to make things work and you build it in quicksand because you didn't get over the previous shit from, your previous situation, that house ain't going to stand.
Right.
That's all there is to that.
Any final thoughts?
Is that the end of the email?
No.
Oh, not on that part.
Okay.
No. I am going to look at something real quick because I think I just got to burn the ships preview.
Okay. Because we're past 11:30 and I have somewhere I need to be in 2 hours. And I do not know how long that distance is.
Okay. I do not like that at all. Nope. Okay. Quickly.
During our courtship, I caught him texting another woman flirtatiously. I called him out, we talked, and we moved past it. About 6 months into our marriage, I caught him Facebook messaging a former girlfriend saying things in our relationship were not going well, and she offered to meet up for coffee to talk about it.
Was that the cheating?
Oh, I don't know.
Is that what she's saying was the cheating?
I don't know. There's other things written.
Okay. I'll let you read then. That way we can just address it at the end.
But that's enough for me to be like, I'm not doing this.
Okay, then I misunderstood then. That happened after the fact?
No, this is 6 months into their marriage.
Right, okay.
He's messaging his ex-girlfriend saying, shit's not going so well with my new wife.
Okay.
And the ex-girlfriend's like, let's meet up for coffee and talk about it.
Okay, right. But I'm curious if that was the infidelity that she was talking about.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
They never met up, but it devastated me. I was not a phone snooper. I snooped maybe 3 times in our relationship to this point, and each time I found something incriminating. I confronted him, we cried, and the 2-hour conversation ended with him telling me, you're going to just have to get over it.
Which is a shitty same thing to say, but is actually the truth. Because if you want to move forward, you are going to have to get over it.
Right, but this is repetitive behavior for him.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But that is the truth. That is a truthful statement. It is a shitty thing to say to somebody, but at the very end of it, that is an honest statement. You're going to just have to get over this. Whether you get divorced and get over it that way, or you work through things, you're going to have to get over the fact that things happened.
I was about to say, I'll get over this on my own then.
Right, but you do have to get over it.
Yeah. We began 2 successful agriculture businesses in 2020. We hired a worker, an 18-year-old female that had just graduated high school, to work with us in our business. The business was going well, and our money communication was not great, but we had kept afloat and built the business well. In 2021, we hit a low in our marriage, and we're constantly fighting. I had extreme resentment towards him that was mutual, and he took a job working out of town 4 days a week. Intimacy was at an all-time low. He started an emotional affair with his employee, the intern, who was now only 19 years old. That's so fucked up.
An emotional affair.
That's fucked up. Yeah. I could not imagine as your wife feeling insecure around an 18-year-old because you might give them attention. That's a fucking child. Like, that says a lot about who he is. Why are you just looking at me like that?
Because I'm processing a lot of what was previously in the email, and that they're both in their 20s at this point. They're both in their early 20s. They got married at 23 and I think 26. So that age gap is not that big.
No, because this is a few years after that. So they're in their mid-20s at this point.
Either way, that age gap is not that big. 18 is legal. Right. Regardless of the emotional anything there in terms of her maturity or whatever, she's legal. Right. The issue that I have in all of this is that they shouldn't have gotten married in the first place. Mm-hmm. And she blamed the religious aspect to rush the marriage through. But in that religion, cheating is not okay.
Right.
However, being a Mormon means that you can have multiple wives. Mm-hmm. So if you were a Mormon when you got... See, this is why I was staring at you, because my brain was going down a whole fucking... I can't get into this. We don't have enough time for me to unlay all of that, but ultimately it comes down to their relationship says that it's okay to have multiple wives. Right. If they were in that religion and following that religion still when that happened, that is part of the problem.
Yeah, I guess it is.
The other issue is that he was already going outside of the marriage when they first got married about the problems that were happening in the marriage instead of talking to his woman, which means he was not emotionally mature enough to have the discussions that needed to be had. He was also a coward. I can do this all day.
Right.
So I'm going to stop because there's a lot to that and we don't have the time to get into that.
My main point is it's fucked up after being in a marriage, being worried about she's younger than me, she's prettier than me.
Do you think that that's what the issue was?
It could have been.
I think that it was that he emotionally cheated and that they were already on the rocks.
Right. It also could have been that, though. We don't know.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
My brain didn't go to that at all.
That's what my brain went to.
Yeah.
I suspected something was wrong and accused him a few times of something going on between them, to which the last time he turned around and said to my face, you have been bringing up that you think I'm cheating a lot. Are you cheating on me? I hate to use the term lightly, but that was gaslighting. That's him. Okay.
So it could be gaslighting, but we also know that it's very common for people to accuse somebody of cheating on them when they are actually cheating.
Right. That's just a thing cheater does.
Right.
So I also hate that you use that term very lightly.
Right.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out that just because he emotionally cheated doesn't mean that he physically cheated, and a lot of men don't see emotional cheating as cheating.
That's fucked up.
It's true though. Most men think that if they're
Right.
not fucking somebody or kissing them or like being physical,
Right.
that they're not cheating.
That's still fucked up.
Doesn't change the fact that that's what a lot of men don't have, that
Right.
emotional maturity or that understanding.
That doesn't change the fact that it's fucked up.
If you're doing something wrong but don't know that it's wrong, is it still wrong?
Yes.
So you're intentionally doing something wrong, not knowing that you're wrong for doing it.
If someone brings it to you and it says this is wrong, and then you go, well, are you doing this wrong thing you're accusing me of?
It's not what I'm asking you, but okay. That's not at all what I was asking or what I was
Right.
getting at. So what I was getting at is if I was doing something wrong and I didn't
Right.
know that I was wrong for doing it, and you started accusing me of doing all these things and blowing up, and we're having a fucking horrible ordeal because I did something that I didn't know was wrong and found out after the fact that it would be a problem.
It's very hard for me to believe that men think that emotional cheating is okay like that.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
I didn't say that they thought it was okay.
Right, but you're laying out a scenario of if I didn't know it was wrong and you start accusing me of things and I don't know that I'm in the wrong.
Right. Most men don't see emotional cheating the way women do.
Right.
It's not a matter of
I
them not
understand.
believing it. It's a matter that they just don't think that's a thing.
I understand.
Okay. Which is why my point was the way my point was.
I just still think that it's still fucked up.
Okay. I agree that it is, but
Okay.
anyways.
He had just gotten home from emotionally and physically cheating with another woman when he said that to me.
Hold on. Somebody in the chat said men don't get a pass. If the role was reversed, he would be pissed. At no point did I say he gets a pass.
Right.
That's not at all what I was arguing in that moment.
Right.
I was trying to make a point about men's emotional mindset and knowing what is right and what is wrong. If we are not told things, if we don't have expectations laid out and what we can or cannot do in our relationships, i.e. looking at the menu or having work wives or work husbands, if those conversations are never had and you do not know what's wrong, when things when things fall apart because the boundaries are crossed that were invisible boundaries that no one knew existed,
Right.
you're having fucking turmoil about things that I didn't know I couldn't do that. Right? That's the issue. It's not a pass. This comes down to having boundaries and expectations and men's
Right.
emotional maturity. That's the conversation I'm having. It has
Right.
nothing to do about excusing people's behavior.
Well, if they didn't think it was wrong, why do men go to an extent to hide it?
I have no idea why men do what they do.
Right.
I'm only speaking on the fact that until I understood the way that my brain understood and learned all the shit that I know,
Right.
I didn't think that it was wrong to go to my coworkers and complain about my wife or my friends or
Right.
whatever. People gossip.
Well, that's different from emotional cheating.
It's not. I view, if you and I were having drama in our relationship and I went to another female and started dumping our relationship drama, that's emotional cheating to me.
Okay.
There is no fucking reason for me to ever go to another woman and explain what's going on in my household because that gives her an in.
Right.
That's how I view that. Me being emotionally vulnerable to another woman and not my wife or a therapist or my pastor, that's a problem for me.
Right.
I see that as that gateway in.
Right.
That's a problem. But I never knew that until I deep dived and did all the fucking work on myself and read all the books that I read to understand this.
Right.
Because it's very normal behavior for everyone who's under like 30 years old. Unless they had an elder be like, hey, just so you know, when you start dating, don't do this because this
So-
can cause problems.
So with that being your definition of emotional cheating, of just stepping out and saying, I can't believe my wife did this today, and the girl responds, oh, she's such a bitch.
Right.
You view that as emotional cheating.
I do. But I didn't.
Okay. Right. So knowing that that's your context of emotional cheating, your conversation prior makes sense.
Right.
Thank you for elaborating on that.
I think that that's just a form of emotional cheating, but I
Right.
think that that's how that all begins.
Right. I agree.
It really is because before that,
Yeah.
it's just a friend, at work. The moment that personal interaction goes from beyond, like, did you watch The Sopranos last night to my wife doesn't give me head anymore.
That's exactly where my mind went to, too.
Right. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly where my mind went to as an example. Yeah.
I don't, anyways, That whole the men get a pass thing kind of got under my skin a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. That got to me a little bit.
It's not a pass.
I don't do that.
I know.
We hold motherfuckers accountable here.
Yeah.
We have a T-shirt about it. Like that's not a thing for me. But explaining the situations and the who, what's, why's, when, and where matters.
Yes. To a certain extent, I can see your point of if they don't know it's wrong, they don't think they're doing anything wrong.
Right.
Like the complaining about the girlfriend. Everybody does it.
Okay.
Literally everybody does it. I used to do that shit. That's part of the reason my first marriage failed.
Right. You made it a point to go, if they're hiding it or they know they're doing something wrong. I don't remember if it was you. It might have been the chat. Anyways,
Yeah, somebody in the chat said it. So
that same conversation though goes if you were talking to a parent, that's a private conversation. And if you were unloading, trying to get marital advice from your mother or whoever you were talking to, and I happened to see that message and felt like you went out of our marriage and that was a problem and you didn't know it, it falls in the same category. It doesn't mean you were hiding it. It means that you were having a conversation with somebody trying to get that.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you have an open phone policy, you're not hiding shit. If you're like, let me see your phone, and I'm like, no, fuck you. I changed my password. Get fucked. That's hiding it.
Right.
I don't know. That whole thing just is that's a conversation for like a time where we have more than an hour to get through an email.
Like a ruminations.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you.
I love you more.
I love you more.
Nope.
Oh, we're not using the definition from that thing we shared?
No. No, I am being as literal as possible right now. I win.
No.
Yep. Yep. I will cut my baby toe off with bolt cutters.
You'll what?
Cut my baby toe off with bolt cutters. Prove a point.
I could lose my left ear.
Ooh, no, that would suck. You'd be
The
unbalanced.
right one's the one I use.
You can't do that though, because then you would look like. Don't do that. You
No?
win. Yeah, because the thought of you not having an ear on one side of your head does not do it for me. You know how weird that would be if I came up behind you and forgot you didn't have an ear and tried to bite your ear. I was like, what the fuck? What is going on here? You have a hole in your head. Yep. No, you win. That, you got me by grossness on that one. Nope.
All right. Back into the email. I found out through a bartender that he was having an affair with this girl and that he had been lying to me. I accused him that night that the bartender told me, and he continued to lie to my face about it. I accused him the night the bartender told me. Okay. I went through his phone for the first time in months, and I found a deleted screenshot from WhatsApp of her inviting him to come inside her house after dropping her off after a night of dancing. They went dancing together?
Yeah, that's a problem too. Dude lacks integrity.
Wow.
And you know, the bartender telling the girl only did so because she wants the guy. Like she's trying to create waves and like push this chick away. And it's crazy to me how many women become buddy-buddy when all of this shit is going on and like take sides against the man. It's happening because one of them wants the man.
Yeah.
Which is really fucked up because you knew what he was doing. You knew he was with somebody when you went dancing and invited him into your fucking house. So you know better than he is.
Right.
People are fucked up. You guys lack integrity.
Giving me Ariana Grande vibes.
That is something that got brought up too by AJ. I think that might be one of the conversations, or maybe you sent that to me. You sent that to me. You sent that to me.
Did I?
Yeah, because you gave me a timestamp, and I was like, yeah, that was a conversation.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yep.
I did. Yeah. This is when I went into the bedroom screaming and started piecing together all of the above information in this paragraph. I lost my shit. I moved out about 2 weeks after learning about the affair. After moving out, there were several different occasions in the last year that we would talk, go to therapy together, go out, or hook up. Only for me.
Or hook up. So they're still fucking.
Oh, yeah. I just glazed over that.
So she had a problem with what he was doing, knowing that she cheated on him, and she's
still giving it up.
Physically,
yeah,
still giving him play.
Yeah.
Your logical brain saying that you don't want to be with him and then still going over there and giving him the booty?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No wonder your soul's confused.
Yeah. You guys need to stop that shit. When you guys end a relationship, don't go back and fuck. There's no reason for that.
Only for me to find out via the girl's social media that they were still hanging out. Sometimes the day before or after that he would see me.
Right. Well, if you guys weren't together, it doesn't matter what he was doing.
Right.
You ended the marriage. He could fuck whoever he wants.
You guys are just hooking up.
Right. He could go day of.
Yeah.
And come over with dirty dick and you would never know it because it's none of your business. You shouldn't be sleeping with somebody you're not involved with.
Yep.
But not that it would matter anyways, because dude lacks integrity.
Right. You know what he's doing.
Right. So at that point, who's to blame?
Right.
Right?
You put yourself back into this situation. Yeah. After learning that he took her on a vacation the weekend after I moved out, one in which she had texted me about wanting to fix things, loving me, missing me, and FaceTime me while she was in the bathroom, though I obviously did not know that at the time, I told him I wanted to file for divorce. Only 4 days after filing, he took her on a vacation that we had planned for us the year before. I learned about this trip in August, and the vacation happened in early July of 2021. These revelations devastated me, as it was another betrayal on top of the betrayal he had already done. To be telling me...
Wait, that's not a betrayal. You filed for divorce, and the vacation was planned, and he took someone else.
Yeah.
You're reaping what you sow right now. Granted, he did a lot of foul shit, like...
Right.
The divorce was initiated. If you guys are separated, what he does is none of your business. You chose to leave.
The vacation's paid for. You didn't want to go.
Right. I'm not saying that he's right for doing what he's doing, but you don't get to feel the way that you... I mean, you do. You can feel however the fuck you want to feel about it, but you need to realize that, like, you chose to leave. Mm-hmm. Even if he cheated and did all that foul shit, you would have been the one to go on the vacation with him had you stayed until the vacation passed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying that it's right. By any means am I saying that it's right that he did what he did, but I got to be honest, in that scenario, if I was that guy and that vacation's paid for, I'm taking somebody... Even if it's a bromance, like, hey, bro, let's go to Mexico and like drink, fruity drinks on the beach and be gay for a weekend and act like we're fucking, like I don't
do the thing,
whatever, fuck it, bromance it, like let's go, man.
Yeah,
I'll make it real weird and look you in the eyes while we have dinner, like slurp that noodle, bitch.
I wish you would talk to me the way you talk to your bros in your minds.
Oh man, it's so stupid. So stupid.
If this were me and I saw that he took somebody else on vacation, have fun, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. You left.
I left. You're stuck in it. Right. I'm going to go have fun and live my life the way I want to. And if he's the perfect one for you, fuck yeah. I'm happy for y'all. Do the thing.
Right. When you leave, you're done, you're done. And if you're not done, you don't leave.
Yeah.
If you weren't over the entire situation and truly ready to walk away and write him the fuck out of your life, you should have stayed.
Yeah.
Should have done the therapy while you were still together, like living together and doing the thing.
Yeah.
You guys were Mormon. I'm hung up on that because it's acceptable.
Right. If he grew up and the religion is you can have multiple wives and he was expecting multiple wives.
Ooh, what a mess.
Right.
I'm good on that.
That's
one woman is more than enough.
Oh yeah. You still don't feel like you got to handle me, right?
Oh, I handle you. I absolutely fucking handle you.
Not in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way.
Okay, good.
Terminology matters though.
It does. And then finding out on social media that he was still entertaining his backup plan. The divorce was finalized in September of 2021. In December of 2021, we had a great big heart-to-heart, and I felt that it was time to cut our losses and move on because there was no way I could go back to him after all of this direct betrayal and manipulation. He had reached out to me a few times in the last couple of weeks apologizing. He is saying that he is in therapy 2 times a week and has spent the last 3 months processing everything that he did. He claims he is greatly suffering for what he did and that he is full of regret. And that he'd do anything for me to talk to him again. That he regrets it all and wish he could do it all over again and take it back. He has admitted that there was something deeply wrong inside of him that led him to turn outside of our marriage for reassurance and connection.
That's a cop-out.
It's a cop-out.
That is a cop-out.
I would say I hope therapy continues working for you. And I hope that everything that you learn and grow from in therapy, you can apply to your next relationship and not treat her the way you treated me.
Yeah. Something deeply wrong with me does not tell you why you did what you did.
Right.
That's an excuse. Mm-hmm. He could have been like, I wasn't sexually satisfied. I needed more than I was getting. You nagged too much. The attention wasn't there. Right. There's reasons that men do what they do.
You've sat down and you saw the reasons. If he can't come to you with those same fucking reasons and just said, I was the problem.
Yeah, he's not owning shit.
He's bullshitting you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an excuse.
He's bullshitting you.
Yeah.
The rest of the email is just more of him whining and crying, and I recognize now what I did so wrong back then 3 months ago.
Yeah. You both fucked up.
I would cut losses.
Yeah.
This would be a learning experience for me. Now, in 5 years, if you come back and you're still this great, amazing person and you recognize your flaws, then we can have a conversation.
Well, she said that the last heart to heart was in 2021. So has it been 2 years since that happened? Because if so, maybe there is actual remorse there.
No, because in the last 3 months, he's reached out to her and said, I want to meet you. I'm so sorry for everything. I've been going to therapy 2 times a week.
Right. But 2021 was still 2 years ago.
Right.
So if that was the final, that's when it happened in 2021 and they haven't had contact for 2 years.
Oh, and this is the reaching out?
Right. Then that could be a different thing. At that point, you guys would have to have multiple conversations. And if you wanted to move forward, there'd have to be a whole lot of ground structure laid out. 2 years is a long time. People go through a lot of shit. A lot of change can happen in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
A fucking lot.
Look at what we went through in 9 months.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I would be very cautious. You're right. It's been 2 years.
Yep.
I'm thinking they just had this conversation last week.
Right.
I would proceed with caution. No sleepovers.
No.
We're not having sex.
Absolutely not. That should have ended when you split. Period.
Yeah. You can take me on dates. We can go out and have experiences together. You can come over and we can watch movies and I'll cook dinner.
Right. We need to learn each other again.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to see these changed behaviors that you're boasting so much about.
Yep. Show me.
Yeah.
Yep. Open phone policy, open Facebook policy, like all that shit if you're going to do that.
And one instance, those same fucking behaviors, I'm gone.
Deuces. Yeah.
Over it.
I agree. I want passwords.
Yep.
Not just access to your phone. I want passwords to shit.
I'm going to log into that shit from my phone if I want to.
Right. Yep.
I came across a TikTok of a woman, found out her man cheated on her. They've been married, been through a lot of shit together, and she looked at him and she was like, okay, so going forward, this is what we're going to do. You've stepped out. We can live together. We can love each other. We can be a teammate together. I'm going to fuck whoever I want to. And she was like, you did this. You could have come to me. We could have had a conversation. We could have worked things out. But no, you decided to step out. You have set this boundary in our relationship. So going forward, this is what it is. And people were in the comments. I was like, outside of context, if he decided to cheat and didn't go to her with anything, and I stand by that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
I do.
2 wrongs don't make a right. In a land of an eye for an eye, everyone is blind.
If he is not willing to work on his behaviors and wants to blame her for the cheating and it's all your fault and I'm not taking accountability and...
Right. That's not what was just laid out, though.
Right.
To me, it was he cheated, so now I get to fuck whoever I want.
That's what she said.
Right. But
and I said without context, if that's what he's doing and this was what was taken, I stand behind that. If he's not willing to accept his accountability on shit, that's a solution. I'm not going to live in a marriage where I feel absolutely betrayed and you can fuck around whoever you want to fuck around with and I'm stuck here.
Right, but is that what she said? That he's allowed to just do whatever he wants, so I'm going to do the same thing? Well, that's a different scenario.
Yeah, she said you can do whatever you want to do. Don't tell me about it. I don't care.
Yeah.
This is now our marriage.
That's a disaster.
Yeah.
There's no way that's going to stand.
No, it's not going to work.
There's going to be a whole lot of hurt people. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I have things to do and places to be, and I cannot read another email.
Okay. I'm going to answer something real quick. Chaotic Thoughts, just because I know who you are, I'm going to address this before we end this. She said, wow, I never knew men don't think emotional cheating is a thing. And then Jenny said, without realizing what they are doing. So I'm assuming that was all part of the same. She said women do it too often without realizing what they're doing. Yeah. That was the point of all of that. So you guys got to realize that a lot of men are missing in young men's lives.
Oh, yeah.
And when a woman raises a man, she's never going to raise a man the way a man would raise a man. Mm-hmm. There are things that men do that they are aware of that teach young men how to be good men as they grow older.
Right.
A mother can never do that. They can't. You cannot do that. You know what men see with their mothers? Men see the things that women do to other men as they are growing up and have a distrust for women, especially if the mother's foul.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of things that go into that. You can try your best and do that shit, but unless you're truly leading by example, your actions betray your words. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole lot that needs to happen in terms of men stepping up and being father, which is why I've done the call to actions the way that I have on the YouTube page.
Right.
So I know that you got to leave. I want to check on little man. So would you like to wrap this up? Do you have any final thoughts for this? Did you guys enjoy this today?
Final thoughts on that last email. I mean, I said what I said. One inkling of anything and never again, do not reach out to me. Do not contact me.
Yeah.
Not doing that.
Yeah. My final thought on this is the emailer has had a whole lot of internal recognition and growth and accountability, and things have happened to her over the last 2 years. It's made her evolve as a person.
Mm-hmm.
To think that he has not is foolish.
Right.
But he needs to show that.
Yes, there has to be the action.
Right. You know how you are and he knows how he is, but you two don't know how you are. Like you have to learn that again. So take the time to fucking learn it again. Mm-hmm. So.
And don't rush it.
No.
I would lay down that, look, we're not having sex until I decide that I'm comfortable with it. And if that's something that becomes an issue, maybe 3 months in, maybe he starts pushing for it, I would redefine, no, I am not comfortable with that yet.
Yeah.
And if that's a problem for you, you can go ahead and leave because I am not willing to sacrifice that. Yeah.
I know that you got to leave, but I have a question now. Do you think that because they've already done the marriage thing and did the divorce thing and all of this shit has happened, do you think that if they did the marriage thing again, that they would both know that leaving is an option and the marriage would be doomed before it started?
No.
Why?
I think, and her recognizing that, let's just get divorced. I should just divorce you. In doing that, she planted the seeds that eventually led him astray. I think in her, if she were to get remarried to anybody, she would be more selective. And I would hope that divorce wouldn't be an option.
And what about him?
I don't know. I don't know any of his thought processes. Yeah. If that is also his mindset, though, of looking back and that's not what a marriage is and that's not what I want. This is what I want and I want it with you. That would be a conversation if we're never saying that word again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, guys. With that being said, we will catch you on the next one.
Bye, guys.